You've probably felt it. You land somewhere, and within days, sometimes hours, you feel like a slightly different version of yourself. More confident, more tired, more easily lost, more instantly at home than a brand new place has any right to make you feel. Most people write that off as vibes or jet lag. It's neither. Astrocartography maps exactly where on Earth each planet in your birth chart was rising, setting, or overhead the moment you were born, and those lines are still running through the map today. Here's the part almost nobody learns. Your birth chart isn't fixed to one location. It's fixed to a moment, and that moment plays out differently depending on where on the globe you're standing when you live it. Move far enough east or west, north or south, and a planet that sat quietly in the background at your birthplace can become angular, rising, setting, or sitting at the very top or bottom of the sky, which means it starts acting on you directly instead of staying in the background of your life. A Venus line can make a city feel effortlessly warm and easy. A Saturn line can make that exact same kind of city feel like a weight you can't put down for no reason you can point to. Left unexamined, this creates a very specific kind of confusion. People move for a job, a relationship, a fresh start, land squarely on a hard planetary line without knowing it, and then spend years wondering why a city that should work perfectly on paper never stops feeling like a fight, or why a place they only visited once still quietly pulls at them years later, for reasons they can't fully explain to anyone, including themselves. Comment map below if you've ever moved somewhere and felt inexplicably different, better or worse, almost immediately, or comment your birth details, and I'll help you check which planetary lines run through your own life. The fix starts with checking which lines already run through the places that have mattered most in your life, where you were born, where you've lived the longest, anywhere that changed you fast. Checking those locations against your chart retroactively usually explains far more than it predicts, because most people immediately recognize a Jupiter line running through the place they call lucky, or a Mars line through the place they still call intense, the moment they finally know to look for it. Then use it forward, not as a guarantee, but as a filter. Before a big move, check which lines run through your shortlist, not to chase the one perfect line, because no single line fixes a life on its own, but to know in advance what kind of pressure or ease you're walking into, the same way you check a climate before you pack. A Saturn line isn't a place to avoid forever. It's a place that will ask more of you, and knowing that ahead of time changes how you show up once you're there. A woman I'll call Elena moved to a new city for a promotion, and instead of the confident, expansive chapter she'd expected, she spent 2 years feeling quietly diminished, overlooked in rooms she used to command without trying. She nearly quit the industry entirely before she finally checked her astrocartography and found a hard Saturn line running directly through that exact city. The same planet that, back home, had sat quietly in a house she barely thought about. Once she understood the city itself was asking something specific of her, she stopped taking the friction personally and started treating it as the very thing building the discipline her next chapter actually needed. Elena's Saturn line never turned soft. That's not how it works. What changed is she stopped reading the friction as proof she'd made the wrong move and started reading it as exactly what that line does. And 2 years later, the discipline that city forced on her became the exact foundation her next chapter needed. If a place you've lived suddenly makes more sense, like this video, comment map below and I'll walk you through checking your own astrocartography lines. This is Shadow Work, the series that names what's actually underneath a pattern, not just the surface trait everyone already knows. Subscribe if today's episode explains something your birth chart alone never could.